Up YouTube here with a prediction video for this Saturday's WBA Light Heavyweight title bout between Canelo Alvarez and the undefeated defending champion Dimitri Bivol, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're not going to watch the fight live in person, y'all can watch it on pay-per-view, not on the zone regular streaming service app. It's going to be on pay-per-view. They're going to broadcast Canelo fights on pay-per-view. I guess they want they back in for the amount of money they spent on Canelo to have him back on their network. And to be real with y'all, I think this is a pay-per-view worthy fight. Canelo, he's stepping up in weight after capturing the undisputed title at super middleweight. His second fight at light heavyweight, a tougher challenge, I think, for sure. His debut fight was versus a at a prime old Sergey Kovalev, in which he was successful at defeating him, knocking him out in the 11th round to win the WBC light heavyweight title. He's going to be challenging for the WBA title this time versus somebody that's younger, that's undefeated, and has a style that he's known to struggle against. Bivol is one of the better boxer/boxing punchers in the game right now, and we all know Canelo has trouble with fighters like that. And you look at his last two fights versus Billy Joe and Caleb Plant, those guys are good boxers as well. Before they got knocked out by Canelo, they were hanging in there versus him. And you know, will Bivol join Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders in having their first L handed to him by Canelo, maybe via knockout? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen Bivol in critical situations before. Anytime I seen him in somewhat of deep waters was when his back was against the ropes and his opponent is pressuring him with punches and bunches, or when his opponent closes a gap on him. But he's good at controlling the distance. I think he's better than Plant at controlling the distance, and I think Canelo's going to respect his power a little more than Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Saunders, because that size advantage. I think he was wary of that when he fought Kovalev, but Kovalev's more of a reputable power puncher than Bivol is. I think he's going to have a harder time maneuvering his way around Bivol's jab, and that's something he's going to have to do to close a gap to make it a mid-range to inside range fight versus Bivol. He's going to have to utilize that head movement and upper body movement of his, which is one of the best in the game right now, to get around Bivol's jab and his 1-2. And Bivol, if you allow him to have the space and time to go to work, then he's going to start throwing his combos, that 1-2 followed up by a hook and then followed up once again by a swivel jab. But I don't think Canelo, with the amount of experience he has, is going to allow Bivol the space and time to connect those combos. Bivol's going to be having to fight off the back foot and utilize a jab and try and land the 1-2 all night. And he's going to want to have to keep Canelo off of him. If he ever gets too close, he's going to want to have to clinch. But Canelo, he's very good when it comes to, landing his punches and picking his shots and throwing combos upstairs and downstairs when he gets in a comfortable range. Definitely the mid-range to the inside range. He's good at when it comes to fighting at those distances. And Canelo, to win this fight, he's going to have to outwork and wear Bivol down. He's going to have to pursue the action and press with volume. And like I say, he's going to have to utilize his movements to get around the jab and have Bivol fighting with his back against the ropes and him wanting to clinch a lot of the times. It's going to be a close fight between these two. I don't see Bivol getting knocked out. I don't see Canelo getting knocked out. I think this fight's going to go the distance. How I see this fight playing out, I think Canelo is going to win on points. Bivol's going to, have his, moments. I think it's going to be one of those fights where, we might want to see a rematch. Like I said, Canelo, he struggled versus boxers, and Bivol is a good boxer. His jab might be repetitive and he might overthrow it. I've heard he's a one-dimensional fighter, but his jab works. He's an efficient fighter. He throws what's necessary. He doesn't throw unnecessary punches. And But I think why Canelo's gonna win, like one of the factors that stands out to me, I think Canelo's gonna show the difference when it comes to the quality. Bivol's got some good quality names under his resume. Jean Pascal, even though when he fought him, he was not, in his prime. He's also fought Joe Smith Jr., who's the WBO Light Heavyweight champion. He outclassed him and outpointed him, but Smith's more of a brawl, aggressive kind of fighter. Canelo's a hybrid. Canelo can do it all. He could box and he could fight. But he's definitely going to want to make it a fight rather than a boxing match versus Bivol come this Saturday. And I think Canelo, once he closes the distance and gets in a range where he could, land some shots, I think he's going to show the difference in skills and he's going to show Bivol he's never fought, I think, somebody of that caliber. I think Canelo's going to show him that when Canelo has his moments. And I think the judges, because they tend to favor the more aggressive fighters rather than the counter punchers, I think that's also gonna play a factor in this fight. But it's gonna be a close affair between these two. But like I said, I'm predicting Canelo to win on points. And my hat's off to Canelo for stepping up and as far as his quality of his opponents. If he's able to get through Bivol, they say Triple G, the third fight between him and Triple G, is next in line. But I think the way this fight's gonna go, I think people is gonna want to see a rematch. I don't see Canelo knocking Bivol out. He's gonna really have to wear Bivol down to get his second win at light heavyweight. His debut fight ended in a knockout. His debut fight at light heavyweight. It's gonna be harder to do that with somebody like Bivol, who's good at controlling the distance, and Bivol's definitely gonna want to keep the distance and keep Canelo at bay and keep his back against the ropes. And Canelo's gonna want to have to use his ring brilliance as well to try and cut off the ring and slow down the movement of Dimitri Bivol. But like I said, I think Canelo's style, if he pursues the action more and shows the aggression in there, I think the judges are gonna see that, and that's gonna work out in his favor. That Triple G fight, I think that shit been out the window. That if they were gonna have a third fight, that shit should have been happened years ago. I say immediately following their second fight. But from what I'm predicting, I think the way this fight's gonna go, I think they're gonna try and call for a rematch, depending on how close and competitive this fight goes between Canelo and Bivol. And yeah, let me know what y'all thinking. Who y'all picking to win this fight, and why? I would love to hear y'all analysis and y'all breakdown on who y'all picking to win this fight and why. Comment if y'all got a video. I'll be more than glad to check it out. Anyways, that does it for this preview video. Y'all comment, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.